everybody. Today we're here to talk about July's Mercury retrograde period, which is happening in the signs of Leo and Cancer. And I'm going to show you the page on the Pandora website where you can find out more about this. And also Chiron's going to be up to some mischief as well. And Natha is here with me today to talk about it. So you may already know that when Mercury turns retrograde, it happens about every 4 months, spends about 3 weeks retrograde, and things can go into some disarray. It's usually a good time to clean out your closets, fix up your communications. Quite often you'll find that messages get lost, miscommunications happen, and even office machinery will break down. It can really be a mess sometimes. This particular Mercury retrograde period is happening during a couple of eclipses here in July of 2019, so it's likely to be quite emotional as well. Mercury will begin its retrograde journey in Leo at 4 degrees. In fact, I want to show you on this page where you can find a diagram of how this looks. So Mercury is going to turn retrograde on the 7th at 4 degrees of Leo, and then it'll be backing up from Leo back into the sign of Cancer. So this Mercury retrograde period is going to have some of the feel of Leo, but also some of the feel of Cancer. And Natha, what are your thoughts on what that might feel like?
Well, I think that it will, this entire month is going to feel very, very emotional. And the Mercury retrograde headed back into Cancer will give us the direction to talk about some of what we're feeling. And I think that, in terms of the Chiron retrograde, and we do have Chiron going retrograde as well on July 8th, so it's right in the mix. Chiron also really is, Chiron the wounded healer, of course, can make us, really aware of our pain and even the places where we might feel a little bit victimized and the places that we suffer. And it doesn't mean that we're going to spend the next several months suffering, but Chiron does tend to alert us and really want to show us where those places are so that we can heal them. And I think that it's going to actually work really nicely with the eclipses and with the Mercury retrograde. I mean, initially it's going to feel kind of chaotic, but I think that if we're awake and sort of willing to be present for whatever shows up, that there is so much information that we can use to just heal some of those places that we've just sort of felt have always kind of hurt. Like when you get a cut and even though it heals, the scar kind of hurts. So this is going to be a time when we might be able to, apply the proverbial balm to our scars and get them to feel better.
That's awfully sweet. I love that. Chiron in Aries can have to do with wounding around assertion, around anger or rage, around the rage of other people and how it landed on you, or around how you handle your own rage, ways you may have suppressed it, and ways, in fact, that may have crippled your own assertion. So those might be some themes that are mixed up in there as well. And another thought that I have is that Leo is sometimes a very self-centered and dominating sign. And when Mercury stops short in the sign of Leo and backs up into the sign of Cancer, it might be a sign that, perhaps some of us here on Earth have been being a little bit pig-headed, have been being a little dominating and inconsiderate of others, and that perhaps we should, look back into the past or look inside of ourselves for more sympathy, more warmth, more of that Cancerian kindness. Now, right in the middle of this Mercury retrograde period, there's something that I like to call Epiphany Day. And there are 2 Epiphany days in each Mercury cycle. This one I call the Lesser Epiphany Day. An Epiphany Day is a day when Mercury conjuncts the Sun. The 2 of them get together. Mercury is the mind and communication and thoughts, and the Sun is the light of consciousness, the light of awareness. So when those 2 get together, there can be powerful insights that happen. There can be pivotal experiences that happen. And particularly during the Lesser Epiphany Day, this is the one that happens in the middle of the Mercury retrograde period. And so Mercury traveling backwards, the sun traveling forwards, they meet in the middle in a burst of insight, which can be the day when the problem gets solved, or at least you figure out, some sense of direction to solve the problem that's been bugging you during this Mercury retrograde period. After Mercury turns direct, right here on July 31st, it will then proceed forward, and it will eventually catch up with the sun and conjunct it again in a greater epiphany day, and that's not going to happen until September 3rd. So, gosh, Natha, do you have any final thoughts about how people could handle this? Maybe what they should do?
Yeah, I think that you had so many little bits of wisdom in there. But I would say, always, my advice always is to just pay attention and really just notice what's coming to you, because the universe really is delivering us clues all the time. And I think that something that you mentioned is that, we often do feel victimized, but a lot of times we're out there kind of doing similar things to other people. So really hold that, hold that it's things that are done to us and things that we're doing, and how can we soften and smooth those places, just so that we're being better, we're doing better in the world.
Yep. I love it. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. And also take a look around on our YouTube channel for the videos that we're putting out this month about the 2 eclipses, because they're going to be pretty intense and you might want to know about it. See you around the cosmos, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.